I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this. If I say Spoons and Matt Boyd apologist, what exactly does that mean?
Sound off in the comments. Good evening, everybody.
You're a Sensatella apologist.
Supporter?
Oh, okay.
I thought it meant like supporter.
Yeah, I thought it was like supporter no matter what happens. Like even if you know they're bad, you're still like supporting them. But
yeah,
anyway.
So like, that's exactly what I mean. Like he's been good all season. What do I have to?
But I thought it meant like ride or die. Like your apologist, like you ride or die with that person. That's what I thought an apologist was. Maybe I'm wrong.
Anywho,
you should ask ChatGPT.
Keyword too. Happy Tuesday morning to you all. Happy, obviously, well, it's Tuesday morning for everybody that's not on the East Coast or West Coast. But anyway, hope you guys all had a good Monday. I had a decent Monday. The Reds and that over in Sacramento are probably going to put me to like barely even. Actually, I mean, the over in Sacramento is not completely dead. If they were to tie it up here, Trevor, I need positive energy. Positive energy.
Positive energy.
So anyway, it's not dead. There's some action going on. The Reds are dead. The Reds are dead. That was a trash pick.
Ellie is garbage. Overhyped.
It was dead before. It was already dead before that. It was dead when the Conforto made that catch in the second inning. I think it was dead. But regardless, a whole bunch of games to get to tomorrow. Let's get into it. Boston on the road in Baltimore. Giolito, Bradish coming back finally after being he's been hurt for a while. I think he hasn't pitched in like a year at least. Spoon, you can kick us off here. What are your thoughts? I kind of want to drink that dirty water again.
I'm kind of on the opposite side of that. I would like to back Bradish here in his first start. I don't think he's going to have a pitch count on him. It looks like he went up to 90 in his last minor league appearance. He's getting a lot of strikeouts, not struggling too much with his control, which is big for Kyle Bradish. He's got some really nasty stuff. It's been a long time since we've seen him in the major leagues, and I think this is a price at -105 for an opener that, I mean, it implies that Kyle Bradish is going to pitch pretty well because Boston should be favored more than this, especially with a guy that hasn't pitched in almost 2 years. I would lean Orioles here. I don't have enough data to really back it up or support it, so I'm probably not going to be on it. But I'm definitely going to watch Kyle Bradish pitch, see how he looks out there.
Yeah, I had a little time today. I was able to dig into Bradish a little bit. His last 4 starts in AAA against Charlotte, Jacksonville, Rochester, Memphis, really not that impressive. 13 runs over, 20 innings against AAA lineups. I don't know if I trust Giolito on the road fully. That's what kind of stops me. But I will say his last few road starts, Yankees, Padres, Minnesota, Phillies, Cubs, not the easiest places to pitch. I know that Baltimore is pretty good offensively. TV Jones, what are your thoughts on this one?
Real quick, TV Jones, before you go, your girlfriend is in the comments asking if you watch the Love Island reunion.
Of course.
Publicly in front of all your friends, she asked you that.
Of course. Absolute, just drama filled. Amazing. I got 3 TVs, so I can multitask.
Humiliating.
Hey, no shame, dude. We know you watched Jersey Shore back in the day. Same shit.
No, he didn't. He was in the
Jersey Shore. You didn't watch Jersey Shore? Everybody watched Jersey
No, I swear to God,
Come
I've asked him. Yeah. Anyway,
I never watched Jersey Shore.
What?
I did.
Cabs here?
I loved it. Cabs ahead. Jim Tan Laundry. Let's go, boys.
T-shirt time.
Okay, Trevor, pick a game.
If you look at Giolito's stats, like versus lefties this year on the road, 188 average, 376 slug. But as of late, the last 30 plate appearances, he's got one of the worst stuff on the board tomorrow. 522 xFIP, 783 expected ERA, sub 14% strikeout rate, 13% walk rate, 13% whiff. And then he's given up an 18% barrel rate. He's getting hit hard. And you're going to have 6 lefties in the lineup for Baltimore today. They blew that game. I can't really say they blew it. They never did anything. I mean, that Duran 3-run homer. Other than that, they did nothing. But I kind of want to go back to Baltimore with this one. I think Giolito kind of regresses a little bit in this lefty field lineup with Baltimore, get some runs across on him. Weather-wise, it will be yeah, wind's blowing to the right field pole basically tomorrow. So not ideal hitting weather, but I mean, you can still score without hitting home runs, and you're gonna have 6 lefties where Giolito's been struggling with lately. I think that'll be a challenge for him. So I'll go Baltimore.
So I guess my only thing is I know that Giolito hasn't been great on the road recently, but over the course of the full season, it hasn't been terrible. The xFIP isn't great, but the WHIP and the ERA are respectable. And I just want to point out that I know that the Baltimore numbers versus right-handed pitching and at home have been decent, and not all these guys were at home, but I mean, look at the right-handed starters that they're facing. Arrighetti, Christian Javier, Lance McCullers. All those guys are all coming back from injury or were coming back from injury like their second, third start, whatever. Walker Buehler, Dustin May, both trash cans. Javier again, Jason Alexander, he's okay. Logan Evans, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby. So back at the beginning of the month, they actually saw some talent from the right-hand side. I just think this is a really big step up in class for them. I don't know if I actually bet Boston because I do think that this line is pretty low, but are kind of suspiciously low a little bit. I do think Boston's a much better team, but it would only be Boston for me. So next game on the board.
For the record, I would side with Toast there on the Red Sox.
I took a fat loss on this game. Atlanta on the road in Miami. Houston Waldrop on the mound versus Sandy Alcantara, who's finally starting to maybe get his groove back. I don't know. This Waldrop kid is just an absolute animal, though. Good God. Trevi Jones, you can kick us off here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, pretty cheap price to play with Atlanta with Waldrop, who's been lights out since getting called up, and Sandy, I think, still has that stink on him of just being horrible this year, but he's been pretty damn good. In Miami, I know their offense didn't look good today, neither did Atlanta, but this is a spot I like the short dog here. Miami here. I think Alcantara has a bounce back game. I think Waldrop kind of slips up a little bit in this Miami offense can get to him. Marcy's been hitting the ball pretty well. So I don't know. It would be Miami or nothing. I don't have a real strong feel in this one. Fading this kid doesn't seem too exciting right now, but he's got to slip up eventually, and I think a short road favorite against a guy who's perceived as just being ass this year. And Alcantara is a nice spot. I think Alcantara gets up and deals a good one. So give me Miami on this one.
This will be the third time that Miami has seen Sandy this year. 11 innings, 13 hits, 8 runs. Hasn't been very special. They did see him about 2 weeks ago as well. But not that I'm trying to back Sandy. It would be under or pass for me. I will just say this. I mean, over his last 6 starts, Sandy's had 2 blowups against Houston and Atlanta, and then 4 really good starts against St. Louis, Boston, Houston, and St. Louis again. Matter of fact, you can add San Diego into that, excuse me. So I don't know exactly what to think from Sandy, but this Braves offense, I kind of thought was heating up. I don't know. Maybe that was just playing a White Sox team that was really bad and a Cleveland team that really can't get out of their own way. Because they only had that one game versus the Mets where they really did anything, at least offensively. I know that they won that game on Sunday or whatever it was. But and then as far as this Waldrop kid, again, it's hard for me to say anything bad about him. I mean, he's went out there and goes 6 innings almost every time. The last 3 starts he's made. He's only made 4 starts. He's given up 2 runs. I mean, the competition hasn't been great, but I will say I think it does help that Miami's seen him a little bit, and Miami's been somewhat decent versus right-handed pitching. Nothing crazy at all. It would be under a pass, but I don't think I actually can bet it. Spoon, your thoughts?
Toast.
Bangaliers.
We
Grand
just got our
Grand Slam.
No way.
You're over.
We just got our over.
Grand
Fuck
Slam. It over.
That's my fantasy catcher right there.
Dude, and we got so lucky in our Yankees over too, Trev. High five, bro.
Air 5.
Never doubt.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Spoon, take it away.
Hurston Waldrop, just watching him out there on the mound so far this season's been really fun. That splitter is one of the nastiest splitters in all of Major League Baseball. The only thing that really concerns me is in this game is that Miami's already seen him. It's not a veteran lineup or anything, but it is a lineup that just they don't quit. They find ways to get runs when you kind of think they're out of it. But Waldrop is so good at getting righties out, and Miami's only got a couple true lefties in that lineup. Jacob Marcy, amazing bat, really good rookie this year, but I don't really expect him to be able to carry this Miami lineup. I was pretty close to pulling the trigger on Atlanta already. I saw -115. It's gone. I think -118 is the best number. I probably won't get there. It's really hard for a rookie pitcher to go out there and just continue to put up ones and zeros. 4 quality starts in 4 outings now. Just really impressive stuff. I could only be on the Atlanta Braves here. I'm a big Alcantara fan. I think he kind of got a bad rap at the beginning of this season. He's coming off injury. It's always hard to come off of that, but him off of 2 really good starts, I kind of expect him to regress here, and this will be the 3rd or 4th time Atlanta's seen him, as you mentioned. So this is an Atlanta spot or nothing. I might end up getting to the ticket window, but it's tough.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. It's definitely tough, especially with both these guys on the mound. So next game up. Oh, a message from our sponsor, SeatGeek. I won't lie to you guys. I've been looking to find some deals on tickets because I'm trying to come to the East Coast. I got 2 kids coming on, dealing with right now. I really need to watch some playoff baseball, which is why I wanted to give you today's sponsor, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. 28 million downloads. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app we have. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. The NFL season is right around the corner, plus MLB is in full swing. I love using SeatGeek. I like having it on my phone. When you use SeatGeek, it has your back. Each ticket is rated 1 to 10, so you know you're getting the best deal. All you got to look for is the green dots. Green means good, red means bad, and every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, we got a promo code for you, Kirms10, for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets you want with promo code Kirms10. Make sure you click on the link in the description below to get that deal. All right. Next game on the board, Rays. I can't believe. Did any of us pull the trigger on the Rays last night, or did we all just fall on our face?
I bet the Rays late. I got a horrible number. I got +107, but I fired late. I was like,
hey, still free.
I was like, it's the Guardians. If their offense explodes, so be it. They did not.
Rays on the road. If you didn't know what we were talking about, Rays were like 140 to start yesterday. They were 125 on the show. They closed it like +100 and they won like 8-0 or something like that. It was just free as air. So didn't really matter what number you got. It matters, but still. Shane Baz on the road versus Parker Messick. Still don't understand why Cleveland's laying a big number right now. Not that I'm in love with Shane Baz, but Spoon, you can kick us off with this one. What's your thoughts? You did.
I think they have the starting pitching advantage. That's why they're laying a number here. Shane Baz, every time he goes out there, this is a Trevor rolls out of bed and gives up 4 earned runs kind of spot. Maybe he has a little worse splits versus righties than he does lefties, but versus lefties, it's a 345 WOBA, 1.45 WHIP. I just think this is a spot where Cleveland belt ass today. I don't think they come back and put 0 earned runs up against Baz tomorrow. And Messick, he's a young lefty with an amazing changeup. One of my favorite kind of pitch mixes to have. I think he can pitch well versus this Tampa Bay team. It's a little tough, but I think I'm going to get there with the Cleveland Guardians. -120 I see is the best number. Tampa Bay's lineup's really been hit or miss, and I don't know. This is a tough game just because of how bad Cleveland's lineup is. It's really, you're just relying on Jose Ramirez to put so much up. But if they're ever going to get to somebody, it's got to be Shane Baz.
Yeah, I feel that. I still don't know if I can actually stomach laying juice with this Cleveland team that's 2-8 their last 10. They haven't been playing 500 baseball for weeks, and they've scored 5 runs in the last 5 days or something like that. Even with that being said, I still feel like this total is a little bit low. You can put me up for the over. I'll just go really quickly. Like Spoon said, Baz has been terrible. I'm not going to bet this, but Cleveland's offense has been so bad. I don't even know what to expect from them. It wouldn't shock me if Baz pitched somewhat decent. He did pitch well on the road in Boston, on the road in Cincinnati. He got shelled in Oakland over, 7 innings, 5 runs in that Little League ballpark. That's not like an absolute terrible start. He got shelled against the Angels in Disneyland, but and this Parker Messick kid looked good his first start. I don't know a ton about him, but I'm really not in love with this Rays offense versus lefties either. But I still think this number is a little bit low. It would only be over for me. TV Jones.
Yeah, Messick really struggles with lefties so far in the majors. He's only seen like 3 or 4 of them through batting 500, but righties are still batting 211. He's at home. He's got no run support ever. If there was a spot, I agree with Spoon. Shane Baz would be the guy to give it up. But I still don't know if I believe in that offense to trust them, especially with wind blowing in from left field, 6 to 8 miles an hour, and it's going to be mid 60s tomorrow. It's not going to be ideal hitting, but the Rays offense is still clicking. I mean, they came right out of that rain delay and smacked I think it was like a 3-run home run or something. Like they just put it out of reach. It would be Rays again for me. I know this Parker Messick kid has looked good so far, but he gets no run support. If Shane Baz gets hit up, so be it. But it would be Rays or nothing for me in this one. They're still clicking. I think a first 5 under potentially might be good. Guardians struggle, and then Rays got to figure out Messick yet. See him a few times, so maybe a first 5 under. But I think at the end of the game, Tampa Bay is going to pull through. Cleveland's just free falling. They have not looked good all year. Barely playing 500 baseball the entire season. They might even be under 500 now. I don't know, but they've not been sharp. So it would be Rays and first 5 under for me.
Fair enough. Next game on the board. The Bronx Bombers. Shout out the Bronx Bombers for putting up a 10 spot for me and TV Jones today. Mackenzie Gore on the road for the Nationals against Luis Gil for the Yankees. Yankees are a big favorite. I can't remember who kicked it off last time. So just TV Jones, your thoughts on this one after a sweat-free winner today with us?
Yeah, I think we just go right back to the over. Wind's blowing out 5-6 miles an hour tomorrow. Nothing serious. It's going to be 75, but Gore, they've got great numbers versus Mackenzie Gore in their career. They're batting .302, .566 slug, 16 for 60. 4 homers and 2 doubles off of him. And Mackenzie Gore, I know he started to look better lately, but the Yankees bats have started to heat up. I know they had a little lull in that Red Sox series, but they had guys on, they just can never get them home. And now you're going to get Mackenzie Gore coming in here. Luis Gil hasn't looked good whatsoever. And the Nationals had chances to score tonight. They just never could do anything. So I think tomorrow's a nice spot for them to score some runs, to assist in the over. I like the Yankees just pound them. Again, or the bats too, at least. I don't know how the bullpen will look. It's been shaky, but that also helps for the over. So over 8.5, I really like that. Do I think the Yankees are going to win 10-0 again to cash the over? No, but I think as long as Washington gets 3, maybe 4 runs, I think we're smooth sailing here. So over 8.5 for me.
Yeah, you can pretty much just copy and paste everything that he said. I think this Nationals team will actually put up some runs tomorrow against Gil, and Mackenzie Gore is not a guy I'm in love with right now. Decent or really good weather actually in the Bronx tomorrow as well. Yeah, I just think the 8.5 is too low. I think we probably see 9s when we wake up tomorrow morning. Spoon, are you with us?
Yeah, Luis Gil. He's seen 3 really bad lineups so far between Miami, Houston, and St. Louis, and he hasn't pitched that great versus any of them. 1.67 whip, 1.7 whip to lefties and righties. You'll have 4 or 5 lefties hitting at the top of this lineup for Washington. I don't trust him out there on the mound right now, and the Yankees bullpen gave up 5 runs in the 9th inning tonight. Even if Luis Gil pitches decent, gets through like 5 innings, that bullpen has some really good arms, but they haven't really shown it in Yankees uniforms at this point. And Mackenzie Gore, at one point in his career, I thought he would be a really good pitcher, but those days are gone. It seems like every time he strings a couple good starts together, he's just kind of teasing you, and then he blows up for a couple starts. Athletics got 8 off him. Houston got 6 off him. The Padres got 8 off him in only 3 innings. I see this as an over as well. The Yankees versus left-handed pitching on the full season are still the best team in baseball. 8.5 is too low.
Couldn't agree more. Next game. I think we've all actually done pretty well when us 3 agree. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I think the hit rate's like 97%, something like that. No one fact-checked that. Having fun with it.
Those are the facts.
Twins on the road against Toronto. Bailey Ober, Chris Bassett. I've already played this one. Continue to play it, guys. Or I'm going to continue to play the Jays, guys. Every day, decent price. This one's a little bit more pricey, 168. But I get Chris Bassett at home, in a place that I really trust him, with a Blue Jays team that's just really firing on all cylinders right now. I know that Bassett hasn't really looked good over his last 7 starts, but the ones he's been really bad with were the ones on the road. And then the home start against the Yankees. I mean, he gave up 4 runs, but he went 7 1/3. I don't really think that's a terrible start. Bailey Ober's been somewhat I mean, he was really bad like a month and a half, or really bad earlier, and then now since he's came back, he hasn't been god awful, but he's also faced the A's, Detroit, Kansas City, and Cleveland. And Cleveland was the only start on the road, and he got shelled. He already faced his Toronto team earlier this year, did go 7 innings, but gave up 5 runs. I just, with Toronto having a bullpen behind Chris Bassett and Chris Bassett at home, I just don't see any reason not to continue to play Toronto, especially if you've been playing them with us over the last week and a half or so. So Toronto up for me. Spoon, your thoughts?
I had some issues with this game. I really wanted to just take the -1 with the Blue Jays, but kind of looking deeper into Bailey Ober, it looks like he struggles a lot more with lefties. You're only going to see like 3 of those in this in this Blue Jays lineup. I think he could come out there and pitch a decent game, and I agree with you that Chris Bassett could pitch a decent game. Temperatures are going to be dropping up there in Canada tomorrow. I'm not positive this roof will be open just because it's chilly. This is a spot where I was kind of looking at an under. There's a lot of variables that are left on the board here. Bailey Ober, not a pitcher that I ever looked to back. Just immediately want to fade him, but I don't know that this is a spot where I really want to. I'm probably going to end up not betting this game, but my big leans to the under here. I think Chris Bassett can pitch well versus this Twins lineup, and I think there's a chance that Bailey Ober pitches well as well. So under nothing.
I don't hate that at all. I would probably go with the first 5 just because I always worry about Toronto scoring a whole bunch of runs late on some lowly Twins bullpen guy. But yeah, TV Jones, your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Toronto on the run line. I know Bailey Ober does struggle versus lefties. He's really struggled versus lefties as of late here. I mean, a 9.36 expected ERA, 4.48 FIP, 13% strikeout, 53% first pitch, but like Spoon said, only 3-4 lefties at most. But this lineup still can get to Bailey Ober and this weak bullpen. I mean, Bailey Ober doesn't go deep. He's been going 5 2/3, 5 1/3, 6, but those are all at home. I mean, his last couple of road starts at Cleveland, Detroit, Cincinnati, he's give up 4, 7, 4. Seattle, he gave up 2 through 4 innings. He had 7 base runners. He just gets shelled on the road. He does a little bit better at home. I think Toronto pounds him again. Minnesota's just the young guys they called up. Yeah, they've looked good, but I think they're just like, F this. This team sucks. Let's just get off and go to Cancun. Just be done with the season. They're spiraling. That bullpen's horrendous. So even if Toronto's losing by 1 or 2, I still think they can get to this bullpen when Ober leaves in like the 5th inning or whenever he exits. So it would be Toronto on the run line for me.
Let's do it. Toronto up. Next game on the board. I don't even want to talk about this. Just
Oakland's piling it on now. Oh, hell yeah.
Let's go. I love Snooki.
If someone's going to the game, I'll buy that from you.
Remember when she got socked in the face by that guy? The bar.
So good.
Anyway, Phillies on the road in New York against the Mets. Jesus Luzardo, Sean Manaea on the mound. One of my losses was the Phillies tonight. If you're one of those people in the camps of CLV is not real, that's for sure. My two of my bets at 20 cents CLV both lost. This and the under in Pitts are in St. Louis. But this one was weird. I mean, the Mets kind of piled on, but I mean, Sanchez was rolling and then he had a balk and a pass ball or something like that. And then like 3 straight hits with 2 outs or whatever. And then the next inning, it was on a 2-out rally as well. So Mets obviously got the job done. The delusional people are saying that the Mets are making a run at the division. Don't listen to that. Spoon, what are your thoughts on this one? Does Philly get their lick back?
No.
I didn't factor in that it was Snooki bobblehead night. I'm sure that's going to make the Mets step up a little bit more. Jesus Luzardo is coming off 5 straight quality starts. He's looked really sharp at this point. 3 earned runs to Washington, 3 earned runs to Baltimore, but both of those were in 6 innings pitched. Pretty decent starts. Outside of that, Seattle just 1 earned, Texas just 1 earned, blanked the White Sox. I think this is a spot where he can pitch well against a Mets team that, while their numbers look good on the spreadsheet, it's kind of just skewed by Joey Wentz. 6 earned runs, 11 base runners in less than 4 innings. Outside of that, Logan Allen went 5 innings pitched, just 1 earned run. Carson Wisenhunt, a guy that Toast absolutely loves, pitched into the 6th inning, just 1 earned run. Robbie Ray, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. So the constantly giving up quality starts to the left-handers they're facing. So I think this is a spot where Luzardo pitches pretty well. I'm not a Sean Manaea guy. One thing that he has going for him is he's really good at getting lefties out, and that's the bats I'm worried about on this Phillies team, and that's what's going to keep me off the Phillies. But I have a lean for the Phillies to get this game back. They dealing with some injuries to their starting pitching staff now. The bullpen's not looking great. It seems like a spot where Luzardo comes out there, pitches well deep into the 6th or maybe even 7th inning, and they find a way to get a win.
Yeah, I'm really torn on this one. You can put the Mets up for me, Kyle. I'll just go really quickly. I'm not in love with Manaea either. I do think that he will continue to get better the longer that he pitches. I mean, the Cleveland start is inexcusable, but giving up 4 runs to the Brewers on the road in Milwaukee, can't really hate him for that one. And then the start against Seattle, not great, but I don't think that that's the Sean Manaea that you're going to continue to get. And we kind of ignored it for a little bit. I kind of ignored it last night, but this Phillies offense on the road is such a drop-off compared to them at the bank. And on top of that, they're not really getting to lefties at all. I mean, they're middle of the pack versus lefties, and they're seeing lefty starters like all of them are all from Washington, the Osagawas, the Parkers, the Mackenzie Gores. They've also seen Patrick Corbin, Diedrich Hines. I mean, so this is going to be a pretty significant step up in competition for the Phillies, even with Manaea not being as good as he was, whatever last year. I've always called him Mr. Overrated. And as far as the Mets are concerned, the Mets have been really good versus left-handed hitting all year. I mean, you can go through their game logs and pick and choose which ones they look good and what not. But the fact of the matter is, the last 30 days, full season, last 14 days, at minimum, they're a top 10 lineup versus left-handed pitching. And at minimum, they're a top 10 lineup at home. I think there's a reason that this game is a pick 'em again, with the Phillies being a significant better team. I think I'm going to be playing the Mets tomorrow. TV Jones? Muted,
damn it. I like the Phillies. I mean, if you look at Manaea versus lineup, I mean, 282 average, 399 WOBA with a 570 expected slug and 122 plate appearances. The last three regular season games versus the Phillies, he's given up 10 runs, 4 homers on 14 hits, only 2 walks. So, I mean, like, he's not walking guys, but he's still getting into trouble. He hasn't looked amazing this year either, and Philly's been crushing lefties as of late. I mean, they've gotten 6, 5, 2, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2 in their last 11, and it's not like they're going against complete bums. I mean, that's
yes, they are. They are literally
not
going
complete. Andrew Abbott, Tariq Skubal, Carlos Rodon, Yusei Kikuchi.
Okay, do the ones the last 2 weeks.
Last 2, okay. They're seeing lefties, and you're gonna argue Manaea's an elite lefty where he's gonna throw.
No, but he's even giving up the 4 runs a night. He's still better than the first 8 names on that list of Philly starters the last 2 weeks. Find one that's better.
Andrew Abbott, Tariq Skubal, Carlos Rodon, Yusei Kikuchi. They've gotten 2 to 3 runs off of them at least. I mean, I think Luzardo will be fine. I don't think the Mets are going to go nuclear again tonight like they did. And the Phillies been seeing lefties like crazy. Now you're going to get Sean Manaea, who they have great numbers with. I'm going to take Philly here on the road, -1.
Yeah, I'm betting the Mets right now. Sorry to hold up the show.
Bring it on. Let's do it. I'm betting it right now.
Absolutely ridiculous.
This is ludicrous.
Absolutely. -108. Okay. Anyway.
Where's this? Hold on. Phillies. Where's this
What are you
number?
looking
-107. Thank you very much. I will take that to the bank.
Look, I got 108. You got 107. You're sharp. And we're on different sides.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out Guadalajara.
Next game up. This game was free for us too, Trevor. Spoon, were you on this over? Were you on the over in Milwaukee as well?
I Googled celebrities from Wisconsin, and he's the first result.
Mark Ruffalo is the first one that comes up.
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
I was on this over as well.
That's the Hulk.
Oh.
It looked like it might not get there the first few innings. It was looking like we weren't going to see that regression we were hoping from Woodruff, but we ended up seeing it that second, third time through the order always comes through, and that 5-inning spot was great. I think this is a spot where we just go right back to the over. I already bet it. I got a 7.5. I paid a little extra juice. It was hanging on Fanatics if you put an alt total in to get -125. I was looking at some of the sharper books. They had an 8 over -120. So I was like, I'll pay 5 cents for that half a run. it made sense to me. So I'm on the over 7.5. I just think this is a spot where, I mean, even if both pitchers pitch well, we still have Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen involved here, and they could give up all 8 of these runs themselves. I think there's so many ways to get to this over. I had to play the 7.5. I thought it was a bad number.
No, Arizona bullpen is one thing, but when you have Brandon, my ERA is always at 5 fought. That always helps as well. TV Jones, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is what I get. I talk shit about the Brewers. Decided you should probably play on Arizona, and how foolish. This offense came to life again tonight. I know Woodruff got rocked there for that big home run, and they blew that 6-0 lead. But Durbin, big home run in the 8th to give some insurance. So then Uribe did go tonight. I'm not sure if McGill will go tonight, considering he went 2 of the last 3 prior to this, and he threw a decent amount of pitches. But, I mean, the rest of the bullpen will be fine. I know Nick Mears went tonight, but even this tired bullpen is still better than Arizona's. I think Milwaukee gets runs, and I think they'll be just fine. Arizona, yes, they've been the best fastball hitting team in the big leagues this year, but the last, 14 days, on the spreadsheet, they're like middle of the pack. And they suck against the slider, which is his second pitch. I think the Brewers are going to be fine here. Brewers minus one for me, and I don't hate a team total over. I think they're going to absolutely tattoo Brandon Pfaadt and Mizorowski. These D-back boys ain't seen a fastball like Mr. Mizorowski's. He's back home. He's going to bounce back. He's going to absolutely shove. Give me the Brewers to clown the Diamondbacks tomorrow.
I'm also going to take the minus 200. Trevor blames this on the umps when Mizorowski gives up 4 runs.
He ain't giving up 4 runs. He's going to pitch a gem tomorrow.
I 100% agree with Spoon. I mean, I agree with Trevor as well because Brandon Pfaadt's on the mound. But over 8 for me, I've already placed it as well. Said this his last start. I'm going to continue to say it. Trevor's not going to want to hear it, but is Mizorowski even good, guys? We're going to go through it one more time just so everybody understands what we're talking about. On the road in Chicago, 4 innings, 3 runs. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, not a good start. On the road at Cincinnati, 1 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 runs, another 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, another shit start. 4 innings against the Cubs, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks. He struck out a few guys, still another shit start. On the road in Seattle, he almost made it 4 innings in a place it's hard to score runs. So he finally had a good start. And then he pitched well against the Dodgers. That was like his Mona Lisa, where he went 6 innings at home, gave up 1 run and struck out 12. But previous to that, he also got absolutely shelled by the Mets as well. So, I mean, he's pitched well, 3 times in his major league
That's
career?
what I'm saying. Dude, Mizorowski is a minor league talent. I'll come right out and say it. He's a minor league talent.
He doesn't go deep into games. He gives up runs. I don't even understand why we act like this guy is even good. I'm not even saying that because of Trevor. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. So it helps that Trevor loves the Brewers, but I mean, these are 2 guys that I really, really like to fade. This price is way low. It should be 8.5 at least, over 8 for me. You want to retort, Trevor? Go ahead.
No, I think the over is a solid play too. I mean, the Brewers are gonna. Offense came to life tonight. They finally were getting those hits back to back that they've been struggling to do for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So hopefully it unlocks something. Big kick in the ass from blowing it on Euchre Day. I think it kind of just sparks them here, and that's 4th inning, 5th inning, whatever it was, 3rd inning, where they just were getting those hits back, where they were not falling the last week and a half. They're back, and if Brandon Pfaadt and his defense stops them, so be it.
I was hoping that Collins, because he was up with 2 outs in 2nd and 3rd. I was really hoping because you have that Rookie of the Year ticket, that would have been a nice little 2 RBIs and another hit to add to the.
I'm probably going to hedge a little bit with Mr. Cade Horton. Just a little bit. I mean, I can still.
Pitcher isn't winning that award 2 years in a row. There's no chance. Paul Skeens cucked everybody for the next 20 years. That was such bullshit. Anyway, next game. We're not talking about
here for sure.
We're not talking about how Paul Skeens duped everybody. Anyway, I'm just saying whatever. We're not going to talk.
Vita Blue's the only pitcher that's got better stats than him through his first 50 starts in his career. We can't shit talk Paul Skeens. I know you hate him.
I can shit talk.
He's cleaning up the acne. He's looking good. I mean,
he's been fantastic this year. I'm just saying his rookie year was not better than Jackson Merrill's. It's just very simple.
His rookie year wasn't better than Cheerios.
it wasn't even close. It was way better.
2020
Silver
youngest player in
Slugger,
MLB
All-Stars.
history.
Kansas City on the road against the White Sox. Michael Lorenzen, Martin Perez, Spoon. Please make Trevor stop talking. Talk about baseball.
So Michael Lorenzen coming back from injury here. He's had a couple starts versus the White Sox and the Rangers. Hasn't been getting too deep into these games, but I think this is a spot where he can come out and pitch decent versus the White Sox. Didn't give up any earned runs the first time he saw him. Did have to get pulled after the 4th inning, but I mean, coming back from injury, that's not too surprising. The White Sox haven't been getting to righties the same way they've been getting to lefties. Taj Bradley, Mick Abel, and Zebby Matthews are the exception to that rule, but I don't know. This is a spot where Martin Perez is on the other side, and he's also recently coming back from injury. He's looked great versus lineups with lefties in them, but this Kansas City lineup is stacked with righties. I think this is a spot where Royals find multiple ways to win. I think this is a spot where they get an early lead and just hold on to it. I have some trust for this Kansas City bullpen. It's not my favorite bullpen in baseball, but I'm going to go ahead and lay the minus 122 with the Royals. I just think Martin Perez is pitching over his head right now. I don't trust it, and I think this is a time where we can kind of buy low on the Royals versus a pitcher that some people probably look at as good right now.
You could put up the over 8 for me. I'm sorry, over 8.5 for me. Not really in love with either one of these two lineups, but I think that both these starting pitchers can get hit up. Spoon just mentioned it. This Royals offense has been pretty damn decent over the last couple weeks, and now they're facing a guy, a lefty, that really struggles with righty bats. So I'm not really worried about the Royals offensively. They've been pretty much, I mean, over the last couple weeks, in that all-star, since that after the all-star break, they've been really good. Like, I don't know, middle of the pack, maybe top 10 if you want to call it. But on the road, they've been really good for a while now, for whatever that reason is. So I trust the Royals to get runs off of the White Sox bullpen and Perez. And then Lorenzen, as far as Lorenzen is concerned, third start coming off of injury, I think, like Spoon mentioned. But on top of that, the White Sox were his second start coming off the injury or whatever it was, and he gave up no runs. But I mean, don't look now, but this White Sox team versus right-handed pitching is starting to put up some runs here. I mean, the names are terrible, but I mean, 7 off of Taj Bradley, 6 off of Mick Abel, 4 off of Zebby Matthews. Houston Waldrop pitched well against them, but 7 off of Elder, 8 off of Elder, 7 off of Strider. I don't really worry about this White Sox team scoring some runs, not to mention the fact today the White Sox gave like all their main guys days off, like Kyle Teal, and I think Tauchman had the day off and something like that. They had like 3 guys having the day off. So I think the White Sox offense is only going to get better from tomorrow. It would only be over 8.5 for me. TV Jones?
Yeah, over 8.5, or Royals over 4.5 for me. I mean, if you look at Martin Perez, he really struggles with the righties. I mean, last 60 plate appearances, 4.53 xFIP, 7.54 expected ERA, sub 17 strikeout rate, a 13% walk rate, and 47.5 hard hit percentage, 19% barrel rate. We got wind blowing out tomorrow, 8 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour in guaranteed rate. And Lorenzen, sure, he's looked all right lately, but you know, this White Sox team just saw him. It was 4 innings. They got blanked by him. And then prior to that, they saw him start of June in guaranteed rate. 6 innings. They only got 2 off of him, but they had 3 base runners, struck out 7 times. I don't think Lorenz is going to come and do that. This White Sox offense is cooking right now. The Royals have absolutely mashed lefties too. I mean, if we just look at what they've done, 4-5, 2-0, 3-0, 3-4, 8, 4-2, they've been absolutely mashing lefties. It doesn't matter who, because Martin Perez sucks. I think the Martin Perez regression hits him right in the face tomorrow. I like the over, and I like Kansas City's team total over particularly.
Have you played the over yet? Do you want to do a Toast and TV Jones over together again?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
We need a jingle for that, like Toast and TV Jones over.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna set this next game up, and then I'll bet it. Pittsburgh on the road in St. Louis. One of my losses tonight. The Pirates scored a whole bunch of runs off that bum McGreevy. Now Mitch Keller's on the mound versus Andre Palante. Spoon, what say you?
Yeah, I was on the Cardinals today. Got the money line. It was definitely a sweat. They blew it in the ninth and ended up walking it off. They only got 4 off McGreevy. I think this
Only
is a spot.
4? The Pirates?
It was a whole bunch of runs, as you said.
Only 4.
I think the Pirates have scored 4 runs in 2 weeks on the road. I'm kidding. Go
ahead. So the Pirates offense is not the best offense in baseball, obviously, but Andre Palante has really not looked good for a while now. 5 earned runs to Miami, 4 earned runs to New York, 6 earned runs to the Cubs. Didn't make it out of the second inning. This is a pitcher that at times has shown the ability to pitch well, and I just don't see it tomorrow. The Cardinals had to use quite a few bullpen pieces to pull out that win today. The Pirates do score runs every once in a while. I think they can get a few runs off Palante, and I think they can get a few runs off the Cardinals bullpen. Mitch Keller is exactly the same kind of pitcher. He either looks really good out there or really bad.
Wait, did you just say Mitch Keller?
I was like, yo, did Spoon just jack him up? Like, yo.
He's coming off 2 really bad starts versus Milwaukee and Toronto, but I see those offenses as quite a bit better than this Cardinals lineup. The last 10 games versus right-handed starters, the Cardinals have scored more than 1 run twice, and that was against Edward Cabrera when he gave up 11 hits, just did not have it that day, and somehow managed to get some runs off Adrian Hauser. But outside of this, we're not looking at the who's of starting pitcher. Ryan Pepio, 0 earned runs through 5 innings pitched. Sandy Alcantara, everybody's loved to hate him all season. He went 7 innings pitched, just 1 earned run versus this team. I think Keller can pitch well versus the Cardinals tomorrow. I think it's a Pirates spot. I haven't gotten there yet, but I think it's a decent price.
Yeah, I'll just go because I kind of have the same thoughts. It'd be under 8.5. I guess it's 8s now. So under 8 for me or pass. Couple things. I do want to point out that Palante's terrible, and he's been terrible his last 3 starts, but for whatever reason it is, versus this Pittsburgh lineup has been fantastic this year and last year. 4 total starts, 27 total innings, only given up 2 runs. So for whatever reason, Palante just does not struggle versus this Pirates lineup. So, and I tend to think that he probably pitches well tomorrow because the Pirates put up some runs today, and the chances in my head of them putting up another 4 runs on the road again is probably slim to none. And then as far as Mitch Keller is concerned, I know that Spoon kind of mentioned it. Hasn't looked great, but at the same time, the competition has really been there. I mean, at home versus Toronto, on the road at Milwaukee, at home versus Cincinnati, and then on the road in Colorado. The San Francisco start's inexcusable, but I do think that when he has faced lower level competition, he's been just fine. So he's faced this Cardinals team twice this year, and I've bet on him both times. And the first game he gave up 3 runs in 6 innings, but it was the defense that let him down. I've probably said that 17 times this year because I watched that game like twice. But regardless, I know that he has pitched very, very well against this Cardinals team the last 2 years. So under. TV Jones, what say you?
Yeah, I kind of like the over. Mitch Keller's been getting hit up on the road. I mean, at Milwaukee, 6, at Colorado, whatever, 5. At San Francisco, he gave up 3 in 2 innings. I mean, Minnesota only got 1. Kansas City got 2 off of them, or 3 off of them. I know the wind is blowing in, but it's still going to be nice weather. And if we look at home teams this year, St. Louis is hitting at home 55% clip to the over. Palante gives up a ton of contact, and Pittsburgh's been making contact and scoring some runs lately. Not to mention Mitch Keller through his career versus this Cardinals lineup, 284 average, 452 expected slug. I mean, 23% strikeout, 8% walk rate. I know the Cardinals offense isn't amazing, but they've seen Keller plenty of times. I think they can get to him, and then I think Palante is going to give it up too. I mean, I played the under in his last game in Miami, and I don't know how I got there, but we got there. He gives up so much contact and puts so much pressure on that defense, and this defense hasn't been amazing. So I like the over. I like Pittsburgh as a side. I think Pittsburgh gets this done, and I think they score some runs off Palante, and Keller gives it up a little bit too. Not to mention that Pirates bullpen also.
Fair enough. It's the losing bet, but fair enough. Next game. Angels on the road in Texas. Shout out the Angels. Huge win for me. Got killed in CLV. I had them plus 150. Closed like 165.
They're not going to have anybody showing up tomorrow night.
Right. Kikuchi on the mound versus Patrick Corbin. I kind of want to bet the Angels at plus 100, guys. I get that Kikuchi's bad versus righties, blah, 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 blah. But Patrick Corbin is kind of turning back into a little bit of a pumpkin, and this Rangers team is just falling off of a cliff as well. So I think personally, so I don't think beating Cleveland means anything to me. So TV Jones, your thoughts?
Yeah. Patrick Corbin under outs. I don't know if those are listed yet, actually. Let me take a gander. They're not listed. But I mean, same thing as last night with DeGrom. I mean, Angels make lefties work. I'm sorry. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they make them work. My bad. Just had my brain shut off for a second. But I mean, Kikuchi, I really don't want to get involved in a side here. I do like the Angels over 3.5. If you look at the last 60 plate appearances for Patrick Corbin, 8.70 expected ERA, highest xFIP on the board, 5.91, 13% strikeout, 12% walk rate, 90% average exit velocity, pretty bad, 53.5 hard hits, 16% barrel, 40% fly ball. The Angels have been hitting the ball hard. They've been scoring runs. I think they have no problem with Patrick Corbin here tomorrow. If I had to pick a side, it would be Angels, but I like the over 3.5 minus 140 for the Angels.
Spoon?
Yeah, the Angels have been getting the left-handed pitching, but I mean, Patrick Corbin just saw this lineup, went 5 innings pitched, just 2 earned runs. That's not a terrible start at all. I think Patrick Corbin has pitched a lot better in a Texas uniform than we remember him for years now. Yusei Kikuchi is a guy that I would much rather back at home than on the road. The issue here is Texas versus left-handed pitching has not been that special. They did just get 9 earned runs off Logan Allen, but before that, they had failed to break the 3-run mark off any starters in their last 10 games besides Max Fried, who just had a really bad start there. And that includes a start from Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi gave up 10 hits in that game, though, so I had a lean to Texas here. I just don't think I can get there. Patrick Corbin represents quite a bit of variance. While he can come out there and pitch well, he can also give you a start like he did last game and only go 2 1/3 innings, 7 earned runs, 10 base runners. So big lean to the Texas, but I just can't do it. The Angels bats kind of remind me of the Yankees. They either hit or miss, bunch of runs or nothing.
I'll be on the Angels tomorrow. Just don't know what the number is, at least plus 100. But couple things for me. Actually, Spoon just mentioned it. Patrick Corbin really hasn't been going deep into games at all. If you get a full 5 innings, that's going to be a positive for him. I don't know if you get that tomorrow, but the Rangers used Carvello, Garcia, and Webb today, which none of those guys are their major arms like Garcia and Armstrong, but they're all their middle relievers. So now, like, if Corbin doesn't go, you're gonna be seeing those middle of the pack guys back-to-back days. And this Angels offense has been absolutely fantastic, especially versus left-handed pitching. There is 2 or 4 lefties in that line, or in that bullpen with Latz, Milner, Colombo, and Garcia as well. So even if a lefty comes out, or even if they go to the bullpen, there's plenty of lefties there for the Angels to get to. They've been a top 5 lineup over the last 30 days versus left-handed pitching. The Angels have been, and they've been facing some pretty decent guys, including Tariq Skubal, Ranger Suarez, Luzardo. They've seen Patrick Corbin twice in the last month or so. So I think that's huge. The question is what do you get out of Kikuchi? Hasn't been good on the road and has actually struggled versus this Texas lineup, but 3 starts against this Texas team. The 2 starts at home got shelled, well, for 16 hits and 10 runs. The 1 start in Texas, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. I don't know if we get 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run from Kikuchi, but as long as he doesn't get absolutely shelled and he can go 5 or 6 innings and give up 2 or 3 runs against this Rangers team that has been desolate versus left-handed pitching for a while. I will give you, they've been facing some good ones as well. Luzardo, Sanchez, Rodon, Max Fried, as well. Noah Cameron has actually been pitching decent as well. But I think that there's a reason that this Texas team, who is still kind of fighting for a playoff spot, is 500, has been winning somewhat games over the last week, is still a pick 'em versus this Angels team. So Angels up for me. I'm going to play them again tomorrow. Next game on the board. Oh, man. Ugh. Rockies and Tanner Gordon on the road versus Hunter Brown and the Astros. The Astros minus 1,000. Obviously, I'm joking there. They're minus 330. TV Jones, it's your boy, Hunter Brown. How do you bet him?
Under. Rockies under 2.5. Yes, under 2.5 runs. I know he just was in Detroit, pitched a gem, but I mean, he's been really damn good versus lefties. A ton of ground ball, very low hard hit. His xFIP's incredibly low. He's getting a lot of strikeouts. The Rockies' offense away from home is never pretty. It's pretty awful. I mean, they just got shut out by the Pirates. So Hunter Brown, I think, can easily do that. Hunter Brown under earned runs potentially if you don't want to get involved with the bullpen. But I like this game under. I like the Rockies under. I mean, I'm sure you could probably get a Rockies like plus 3.5 for like a 2.5 something. I'm sure you can get a nice price. I don't know if Houston goes berserk.
I feel like you just read off like 7 bets at me. What do you want me to put on the screen?
My bad. Colorado team total under. I just think there's a lot of ways. Just this game goes under. Like full game under. Colorado team total under is my favorite though. I think Hunter Brown twirls a gem. This Rockies team really struggles, and they're going to be righty heavy. Where Hunter Brown's been pretty damn good, especially as of late. So Rockies under 2.5. It's getting nasty.
Unfortunately, I can't argue it. I wouldn't play the under just because Tanner Gordon's so bad. But Spoon, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking at a full game under. It's probably not something I get to the window with, but I mean, you just said Tanner Gordon's been so bad. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run to the LA Dodgers in his last start. He's shown the ability to pitch well at certain times this season.
What about his last 2 road
Same
series?
time, he presents the ability to give up just absolute crooked numbers. Cleveland got 6 off him. Toronto got 7 off him. Arizona got 10 off him. So it's hard to get there with the under, but this isn't a park that I necessarily think is great for scoring runs. The Astros versus right-handed pitching recently have been just really torrid. Dustin May blanked him over 6 innings. Brandon Young took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Dean Kramer went 7 innings, pitched 0 earned runs. Flaherty, as bad as he's pitching, 7 innings, pitched 0 earned runs. So with Alvarez out of the lineup, teams have been able to kind of silence this Astros lineup with a right-hander that's feeling his stuff. But Alvarez supposedly could be back tomorrow. He's supposed to join the Astros for this series. Looks like everything went well with his start today in AA. So I can't get there with the under. Astros are a team I've been riding, and there's 0 chance that I lay 2.5 with the Astros in this park to get a decent bet. So it'd be under or pass, but I'm going to be off this game.
I'm definitely not betting this game, but it would be over 7.5 for me. I don't really love an 8, but I don't really think Tanner Gordon's good at all. Spoon went through his crooked numbers. He had a good start against the Dodgers. Yeah, that's impressive, but the Dodgers have been laying eggs all over the place. Arizona and Cleveland and St. Louis, the other starts, all those teams. I mean, Arizona's been coming to life, but St. Louis and the Cubs have been dead versus right-handed pitching for a long time now, even though those numbers were earlier in the year. But the only thing the reason I say over is just because the Rockies, I mean, I know that a lot of those games were at home, but they were scoring runs, and Pittsburgh's really good at home, and there's just too many zeros for the Rockies there. They haven't scored a run against a right-handed starter in 3 games. I mean, they've scored 1 run in their last 3 games. Sooner or later, it wouldn't be crazy for them to get a man on or 2 and to put one in the Crawford boxes. So it would only be over. I would want 7.5 though. You can get it juice, but I'm not playing that game. Next game on the board, Padres on the road in Seattle. Dylan Cease, Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. TV Jones. Well, first of all, shout out both these teams tonight for cashing my over in the 4th inning. Yeah, holy cow, that was nice. TV Jones, your thoughts on this one?
Mariners money line. Their offense is absolutely cooking now. You get Dylan deceased on the bump here, who's been getting hit up hard, and this Mariners offense has been absolutely cooking. I mean, they've got 4 home runs. They've got 8 extra base hits total off the deceased with 19 hits, 493 slug, 268 average, 11% walk rate, 23% strikeout rate. I know they haven't been hitting righties, but I mean they've seen Cease plenty of times. It's gonna be 83 degrees tomorrow. This offense is just going nuclear right now. I think Castillo is fine. He could give up a few probably, but I still think at the end of the day, the Mariners, their offense is going to be cooking a little bit more. And I don't know what they used in their bullpen tonight, but they won by a decent margin. So I can't imagine some high leverage arms were used. I did not have my my baseball savant tab pulled up to look, but it would be Mariners or nothing for me in this one. I almost got cute and went with the Padres today. I didn't. I liked them, but I never pulled the trigger, and they got smoked after they took that lead.
TV Jones and the Mariners did use all their high leverage arms tonight. By the way,
They did.
Spoon. Yes.
Who cares?
This is a over spot for me.
Damn right it is.
Looking at these two pitchers, sure they both have the ability to pitch well at times, but at the same time, they both have the ability to blow up. These are guys that just have a high variance every time they go out there. Dylan Cease has a lot of strikeout stuff, but he tries to challenge batters. And I mean, we've seen it time and time again with Cal Raleigh. If you try to challenge him, he's going to put that ball right over the fence. I look at Dylan Cease, and he's not a guy that's going to back down from anybody. I think he's going to get in trouble kind of early in this game. I think the Padres will have to go to their bullpen. You've mentioned it earlier in the season. You don't know how many times Dylan Cease is going to go through the order past twice. So I really don't see him long for this game. The Padres are going to have to get into their bullpen. I do trust their bullpen arms more than Cease, but I think by that time the Mariners will already have 3 or 4 runs on the board. And then Luis Castillo on the other side. This is a guy I really didn't like in a Cincinnati Reds uniform. I thought maybe going to Seattle would be a nice change for him. You just go from an extreme hitter's park to an extreme pitcher's park. But even this year, he hasn't pitched that great. At home, he has been better. But I think this Padres lineup, they put up 4 earned runs today really early. I think they can do that same thing again versus Castillo. And as you mentioned, the bullpen arms all went for Seattle tonight. So the Padres will be getting a second look at them on back-to-back days. I think 7.5 is too low. I took the over already.
Yeah, copy and paste everything that he said. I have 1.5 units on this over tomorrow. Took all my money that I won today and put it right back on it again. Pretty much everything that he said. 2 things that I really love, though, that he said. Neither one of these starters are going deep into games at all. Dylan Cease is in a point where I think that the Padres have realized you can't trust him as a starter. I think that if they had their choice, they would probably make him into a reliever. Why? Because he only has 2 pitches. And if he can't locate his fastball or his slider isn't working, he's absolutely screwed. So he can't really throw that knuckle curve for strikes on a consistent basis. And I do think that's going to matter against this Mariners offense that has shown propensity for power, even in this building lately. I also like the fact that they've been at home for a while now. I know that they are offensively were kind of inept Friday and Saturday versus Oakland, but keep in mind they were coming home from an East Coast road trip where they were in Baltimore, New York, and Philadelphia. It made sense, and that game on Saturday was 10 innings. So I think that the offense is starting to wake up now. And as far as Dylan Cease is concerned, you're probably only going to see him 2 times through this lineup, so you maybe 4, maybe 5 innings. But where I don't feel like the Padres have a huge bullpen advantage, and it's the same thing that I talked about last night. You're not going to see Suarez, Miller, Adam, Morihone unless it's like the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning and they have a lead or it's tied. And I don't really think that's going to be the case tomorrow. And if I'm right about that again, you're going to see or have to use guys like Matsui, Peralta, Morgan that all worked or on back-to-back days. So there's a spot for me where I think that they maybe leave Dylan Cease in a little bit longer than they should, which could cause trouble. And then also Luis, the definition of average, Castillo's on the mound, who has only gone 8 innings his last couple of starts. He had 1 really good start at home versus the Rays where he went 7 innings. And besides that, it's been pretty mediocre. And like I just said, the Mariners used all their high leverage arms tonight as well. Munoz, Brass, Pizzardo, Ferguson all went for Seattle. None of those guys are going to be out of the game. Actually, matter of fact, I think Munoz might not be available because I think he's going to be 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3. But regardless, none of those guys are crazy worked, but Padres have still seen him, and the Padres lost tonight, but they still scored 6 runs. They're still crushing right-handed pitching. So, and also another really decent day in Seattle tomorrow as far as weather is concerned. I think it's going to be, the wind's kind of slightly blowing out, but another 85-degree day in Seattle. It's going to be beautiful. With the ball's going to be flying tonight. I absolutely love the over again in Seattle. Next game on the board. I'm so happy that hit today, guys. You have no idea.
I'm going to tail your over, too. I'm still on Seattle, but tail the over.
I love it. Cubs on the road in San Francisco. Matthew Boyd, Justin Verlander. Cub, you're a Cubs apologist, aren't you?
A Matthew Boyd apologist, I believe, is what Sauce was saying earlier. I don't always back the Cubs, and I don't always back Matthew Boyd, but when we're talking about Matthew Boyd in a really pitcher-friendly park like Oracle, I don't see any reason that I don't want to back him, especially versus a Giants team that's dead last versus lefties on the full season in weighted runs created plus, OPS, just about every offensive category. It gets a little better if you go to the last 30 days. They're only 28th in WRC plus. I think Matthew Boyd comes out here, pitches really well. And on the opposite side, we got Justin Verlander coming off the best start of his season, one of the best starts of his season. Tampa Bay, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. I think there's one more start in there I don't have on my spreadsheet. I just don't trust Justin Verlander at this point in his career. And if there's one thing he struggles with this year, it's lefties. And the Cubs lineup is full of them. Sure, they haven't been hitting as well recently, but I think they find enough ways to get some runs off Verlander. And once we get into the bullpens, I think they can find a few more ways to get runs. I think Matthew Boyd pitches deep into this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go a full 7 innings versus this Giants lineup. And then you really only have to worry about one arm before you get to Palencia, who I still have quite a bit of trust for. Verlander, when he's seen teams with a bunch of lefties like Washington, 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 12 base runners. I just think this is a spot where the Cubs win. I already played the -130.
Yeah, the Cubs needed a day off because they've been using Palencia like a goddamn dog for the last 6 nights or whatever it is. I mean, sooner or later that guy's arm's gonna fall off. TV Jones, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Giants money line.
I love
not a fade of the Cubs. I did like the Cubs, but I mean, if you look into Verlander, I mean, his last 30 and 60 plate appearances versus lefties, I mean, he's got a sub 275 xFIP, but a 30% K rate. 67% first pitch strike, a 2.5% barrel rate. He's not getting hit hard. I mean, he's been fine versus lefties. Now you're going to go into Seattle or San Francisco. I know the wind's blowing out, but it's still going to be a chilly night, 65 degrees. And, you know, Verlander got absolutely rocked last time at the Padres, 100%. But he's back at home where I think he's can actually play the ball a little bit better and keep it in the park. And Boyd has been fine. It would be San Fran money line in the under. I think this is kind of like a pitcher's duel for a little bit, and then the bullpens enter and kind of hold it down because it is San Francisco at the end of the day. Like if they soar over this, so be it. If this goes over, so be it. But I still think Verlander's been pretty good versus lefties as of late, so I'd be willing to take a stab with Verlander.
Yeah, it would be under or pass for me. I don't think I'm going to bet it. DK just popped up at 8 at -119, which is a little bit better. But I get that Verlander just got throttled by the Padres, but we've talked about on this show, the Padres are starting to wake up offensively, especially versus right-handed pitching. And previous to that, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 of his last 5 starts previous to that were fantastic. He got absolutely throttled by Washington in that home start, but looked good against the Rays, looked good against Pittsburgh as well. So I do think that Justin Verlander can pitch well. I don't love the fact that San Francisco's coming home from a road trip where they went to San Diego, then Milwaukee, and now they got to come back home. They did get a day off. I think the bigger question is, what do you get from the Cubs offense? Kyle Tucker has finally figured it out. It seems like they have been facing guys that can't pitch like Kyle Hendricks and Victor Medeiros and that Jacob Mizorowski or whatever this guy's name is, but regardless, but I know that guy's that has been pitching like crap for a while now. So I'm just really not impressed with what the Cubs have done so far this year or so far over the last week or so, especially against this Angels team. But again, I do think that they're offensively capable of scoring some runs, but it would be under for me. I don't worry about Boyd either, but I think the big question mark is this Cubs offense and what they look like coming out of Disneyland. We'll
60 people have voted on this game. 80% Cubs, 5% Giants.
Love it.
Literally every single person watching this is on the Cubs except for one person. So whoever you are that voted the Giants in the poll, just know you are standing on an island holding hands with TV Jones.
LFG.
All right, bruh. Next game on the board. Tigers on the road in Oakland. Charlie Morton, Osvaldo Bido. Shout out Bangaliers tonight for that grand slam. I didn't see it. I can't wait to watch the highlights. All I know is my overcast, and it probably shouldn't have. So love it, love it, love it. Spoon, you can kick us off here. Hefty price to pay with the Tigers and Charlie Morton on the mound.
Yeah, Charlie Morton has found a way to pitch pretty decent at points this season, but a lot of that's been at home, and on the road he's got a 5.17 ERA on the full season, and that's not in parks like the Sacramento Park tonight. The A's got 8 runs in the last 3 innings of this game by themselves. I think their bats kind of woke up there towards the end of the game. Obviously, you get a guy like Skubal out, and everything just looks a lot easier. So now after seeing Skubal yesterday, they get to see Charlie Morton. This just seems like a really nice warm-up. I think Charlie Morton, when he's faced some decent lineups in not hitter-friendly or in hitter-friendly parks, he's given up a lot of runs. I mean, the Angels got 6 runs off him at home. I don't see any way that Charlie Morton really comes out here and pitches well. The last time he went to a AAA park, it was that Tampa Bay park down there, Steinbrenner Field. He gave up 7 earned runs and 11 base runners. I think this is a similar outing. The Athletics find a way to get a bunch of runs up on the board. I didn't end up getting there with the money line. I was looking at Bido, and he's just been terrible this season. I remember last season he showed some signs of being a promising young pitcher. I can't get there again, especially after they got the win tonight. I was looking at the over, but I think Athletics team total is what I'd like.
Yeah, I wish it's 11, obviously, so I expect runs too. I was thinking over as well. TV Jones, what are your thoughts? You kind of seem to be an A's whisperer as well.
Yeah, A's over 4.5. I mean, if you look at Kyle's handy dandy sheets here, I mean, Morton throws the curveball 38%. A's third in the league last 30 days. And then his 4-seam, they're 9th in the last 30 days, 5th on the season. Sinker, they're awful against, but everything else, like, they're good. His changeup, 2nd in the last 30. Morton can get hit up. I mean, especially when you got wind blowing out to left center field, 10 miles an hour, and it's going to be 84 degrees. I think he can definitely get hit up. And then this Detroit bullpen, too, definitely has the ability to get shelled, too. So over 4.5, minus 120. I believe that's what I'm seeing. Minus 120, yeah. For the A's, I like that. I'm going to be on the A's over 4.5 tomorrow night.
Is that a Milwaukee Braves pennant up there?
No, dude. Maybe it was. The funniest one was somebody started Trap House Jones, and then like 6 other ones came after it, and it was just glorious.
Wait, in the Discord?
Like it was right after Sternberger joined too. He was probably like, "What the hell is this group?"
Freaks talking about.
I didn't see any of these. I'll have to go back.
Oh, dude, you gotta search them in the media. I'll find them for you. It was just classic. The Trap House one was so funny.
Yeah, well, someone shared the Treehouse Jones pick, and then someone responded with another AI created one that was Trap House Jones, and it was.
I showed them that I put it on my screen, my lock screen. It was hilarious. Anyway, it would be over. It'd be over or pass for me as well. I will say that I know that the A's at home haven't been great, or at least compared to on the road. They're a really, really good offense on the road. They're still pretty decent at home. But I will say their numbers versus right-handed pitching have dipped over the last couple weeks. But if you look at the starters that they've faced, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Bailey Over, he sucks. But Joe Ryan, Jose Soriano, Drew Rasmussen, Baz, Pepe Le Pew. So some pretty decent names as far as right-handed starters wise. And I do agree with them after scoring some runs late. That gives them an advantage. So it's going to be 86 degrees with double-digit winds blowing out in this AAA ballpark. So it would only be over for me. Probably see 11.5 tomorrow. Next game.
These are pretty funny.
I know. That's good stuff.
Yeah, there was Tiki Jones. There was TP Jones.
RV Jones. Igloo Jones.
Igloo Jones.
Yeah, Igloo Jones. Yeah, dude, it was funny as hell. Everyone just went nuts with like TV Jones living in different places.
Oh man, Reds on the road. Last game on the board for baseball. Reds on the road in Dodger Stadium. Nick Martinez, Clayton Kershaw on the mound. Took a fat L with the Reds tonight. Never was in the game. I think that died in the 2nd inning with that Conforto catch though. But regardless, I want to bet the Reds again, so somebody stop me. I'm a Nick Martinez apologist, and I am a true Nick Martinez apologist. This guy is a low-key GOAT that nobody likes to talk about. People talk about Brandon Pfaadt, but don't talk about Nick Martinez in the same breath. Get out of town. TV Jones, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not a Nick Martinez apologist.
Okay. Just look at the numbers.
I've never met one.
You've never met one?
No. But I'm also not a Clayton Kershaw. No, that's fine. Yeah. Welcome to your island.
Look at those game logs. Look at those game logs. You're telling me you're not impressed with Nick Martinez?
No. He's deep down. We know he's ass. But I'm not. I'm also not.
Years as a starter. Stop it.
Stop.
You stop it.
Stop.
3.10 ERA in 2024 with 142 innings pitched. 3.43 ERA in 2022 with 110 innings pitched. Stop it.
What year are we in? 2025. What have you done for me lately, League? Get shelled.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. Never have been. But I'm also not a Clayton Kershaw apologist. I kind of like the over. I think the Dodgers can hit up Martinez no problem. And I think the Reds can get to Kershaw, but the problem with the Reds is they're a roller coaster team. They just got shut out tonight, so they could easily be – there we go. They could easily be right there at the bottom, but it'd be over. Yeah, that one was the best.
Classic.
Over 9 for me. I'm not going to play this because I don't trust the Reds offense enough because they're such a roller coaster and they got shut out tonight. So they could just go 3-4 straight games scoring like a grand total of 6 runs. So over nothing, but I will not be on this game at all tomorrow.
Spoon, I already know that you don't like Nick Martinez. You're not like that, so I'm not even going to ask you.
I don't know. He's starting to grow on me a little bit, and it's getting hard to fade him.
Answer me this, because I respect your opinion. I don't respect TV Jones. If you had to take Brandon Pfaadt or Nick Martinez, who are you taking? You having to think about it tells me all I need to know. Go ahead.
Right now, I think I'd have to take Nick Martinez.
Thank you.
I haven't been a Brandon Pfaadt hater for years. I believe you have been. Like, I have that vividness bias from watching him pitch really well in the playoffs, and it just kind of sticks in my mind. So that when I first think of him pitching, that's what I see. But I mean, throughout the course of the season, Pfaadt's looked not good at all. And Nick Martinez, he's had a couple blowouts. 5 earned runs to Milwaukee, didn't get out of the 3rd inning, gave up 10 earned runs to Miami. But outside of that, every start, he's going out there giving quality starts or getting close to it. He's keeping his team in a position to win ball games. It's the Reds, so they're not winning a ton of them. But I mean, 2 earned runs versus a lot of really good lineups, including this LA Dodgers team. And that wasn't in a pitcher-friendly park like they'll be in tonight. That was in Cincinnati Small Park. So I think he has the ability to pitch pretty well versus this Dodgers team. And if we look at the Dodgers versus right-handers recently, like, they're not really getting to anybody. Sure, they've seen some pretty decent pitchers, but they got 4 off Darvish in one of his first starts coming back from rehabbing. Outside of that, they got 5 earned runs off Kyle Hendricks. Every other start's been under 3 earned runs for the starting pitcher. So I think this is an under spot for me. I still think of this park as a pitcher-friendly park. If we look at the numbers on the year, there have been a lot more runs scored here than there have been in past years. But if you roll it out to 3 or 5 years, this is still pitcher-friendly. And on the opposite side, Clayton Kershaw has been pitching really well. Last time he gave up more than 1 earned run was on the 26th of July to Boston. He gave up 4 runs to the White Sox on the 2nd of July. I mean, outside of that, he's looking just like Clayton Kershaw of 10 years ago. So I think a Reds lineup that struggles versus lefties, 27th in baseball and WRC plus on the full season, isn't going to necessarily change that. They haven't gotten to anybody recently. Ranger Suarez, they got 6 off of, but in the last 10 starts besides that, I mean, it's the same story. They haven't gotten more than 2 or 3 earned runs off anybody, and a lot of 1s and 0s in that list. So I think this is an under spot for me. I haven't actually pulled the trigger on it, but I think Nick Martinez is starting to grow on me a little bit. I watched one of his post-game interviews, and it was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, he was a San Diego guy, and so I've always followed him. And then, like I said, I do think that he's criminally underrated. I mean, he's had 2 or 3 like true blow up starts where he's given up like 6 to Milwaukee. There's a 10 spot in there somewhere. I mean, so his ERA, not that ERA is the end all be all, but his ERA is kind of jacked up considering how well he's pitched. I think this year it would be under for me as well. I think both these pitchers can pitch well. I'm not really in love with Clayton Kershaw, but I mean, seems like he's on a renaissance right now. I mean, and he's been facing pretty decent competition too. I mean, San Diego, Toronto, Tampa Bay, Boston, and Milwaukee, his last 6 starts. I mean, so that's pretty decent competition. And like Spoon said, this Reds team hasn't really done anything versus left-handed pitching. And if you look at our spreadsheets, you'll see like, oh, they got 6 runs off of Ranger Suarez. Yeah, that's decent, but they also had seen him like a month prior to that. And so I think that gives them a little bit of advantage like that. So in the first time that Ranger Suarez saw him, he went 5 innings and gave up 1 run. So I think that both these starting pitchers can pitch well. The reason that I'm not going to play it is because, like Spoon said, the Dodgers have been seeing some really good right-handed pitching. And if their offense is starting to come alive, which I know it wasn't there Friday and Saturday against the Padres and that pitching in the bullpen, but obviously all it took was Jeremiah Estrada to pop his head out, and this Dodgers offense is automatically back. I just feel like I just can't really don't know what to think with this Dodgers offense right now. But I do think 9 is extremely high with these two guys, the way that they've been pitching right now and the way that these offenses have been. So that is it for Major League Baseball. Sauce has Moneyline Mac and Spoon on. They're going to go through a whole bunch of week 1 bets. I think like Scoop. Sorry. Excuse me. Scoop. So he will play that. Yeah, he will play that right now. And we will see you guys all tomorrow night. Have a good night, everybody.
Are we doing this tomorrow?
All right, it's Monday. We're talking week 1 college football. We've got 7 games picked out. Mac is obviously here, and Scoop, same 2 I was with on Saturday. Starting off with the first game here, which is on Thursday. Interesting one, Boise State, South Florida. Mac, you want to kick us off here?
Yeah, so a lot of line move in this game. I think this game opened at 9.5, and now I'm seeing it down to 6.5. I still like the home dog here. I think South Florida, year 3 of Golesh, they're healthy back at the quarterback spot. You can see a ton of production back on the offensive side of the ball. And Boise, I think too, this game being earlier in the day, it's a 5 o'clock local kick. I think the heat down there in Florida does play a factor here. Last year, Boise went to Georgia Southern in an early non-con game, kind of struggled with that. I like backing these Florida teams early in the year with the heat. And then Boise, of course, replacing Genty, who went to the NFL, Mr. Do-It-All. I just think it takes a game here or a couple games for Boise to start clicking. I still think they'll win the Mountain West, but I think this is a dangerous spot, so I'll take the points with the Bulls.
I agree with like every single word you just said, but let's let Scoop go ahead.
Yeah, I want to get there with USF, but I cannot. Byron Brown may play in this game. I don't know if you knew that because he was hurt all year last year. No matter what the injury.
I think he's definitely going to play. I'm just
joking. It was sarcasm.
I
gotcha. Yeah, I know why you'd want to go with South Florida. I like Golesh. She's a solid coach. They returned a bunch of production on both sides of the ball, and the offense was actually good even when Brown was out somehow. Should have one of the best lines in the conference, but I'm going to pump the brakes a little on how good they're going to be in the AAC versus how they're going to be against Boise State. I know Genty's gone, but Cyrus Gaines is going to be perfectly fine against South Florida. Boise only lost 1 lineman themselves. It's still the Mountain West's best line. It's definitely the AAC's best line if they were there. But I know you could point to Boise State's defense being a little depleted, but I don't see USF moving the ball too well here. And you guys did see South Florida's defense last year. Matson's going to move the ball fine. South Florida, I know they're like 17th in defensive production returning, but that's fine. I'm actually happy about that. They couldn't stop anyone in the secondary anyway. So, I mean, do I think South Florida is going to compete for an American Athletic title? I actually do. I like the makeup of the team. I think they can definitely compete in the conference. I just think this is a little too bit of a loaded Boise State team. If this was like 7.5, I wouldn't take it if this was over a touchdown. But if it stays below 7, I'm going to take Boise.
I'm more in agreement with Mac. I think people forgot how talented Byron Brown is. But yeah, Mac already talked about the offense. Scoop was taking shots at the South Florida defense, and I don't necessarily agree with that. We've seen this South Florida defense trending in the right direction since hiring Todd Orlando. In the last 2 years under Orlando, we've seen significantly better defensive production than the previous 3. They were not the last 2 years. They were in the top 100. The 3 years before they hired Todd Orlando, they're one of the worst defenses in the country. They bring back a decent amount of production on the defensive side, and I like how they were playing their best football on that side of the field down the stretch. In weeks 3 through 5, they got lit up by Miami, Tulane, Southern Miss, even lit them up a little bit. But in their last 7 games, I mean, I'll put the graphic up on the screen. Their defense was playing great. So you got a DC that seems to have the defense trending in the right direction. They were playing their best football at the end of the year. I don't think this South Florida defense is bad. And as far as Boise State goes, I mean, obviously everyone knows they're loaded. They're pretty much bringing back most of the team with the exception of Genty. I think they're going to be just fine. They're very clearly the best group of 5 team. I don't think anyone would really, maybe Tulane if they're all healthy. But a couple concerns here. Number one, you got to take into consideration these 2 teams are just in completely different mindsets. I mean, Boise's coming in feeling like $1 million, right, after last year. And South Florida, if we remember, our hopes were pretty high for South Florida going into the season. So they're coming in more of a chip on their shoulder. Last year was a disappointment. And there's also some offensive line health problems here for Boise State. Kenneth, I'm not going to hope I'm saying that right. The left guard that transferred in, he was limited all through camp. It's uncertain if he's going to play. Carrion, their right guard, he missed a big chunk. He missed 8 games last year. He is back, but he's just coming back from a serious injury. And Hall Smith, their right tackle, he missed a lot of camp, and he might not even play. So out of the 5 starters on the Boise State offensive line, there's health concerns with 3 of them. So I think there's a chance that 2 of those 5 don't even play in this game. So, yeah, I agree with Mac. I wrote down in my notes, if I get 7 or better, I'll play it. So I'm on South Florida. As of right now, I don't have an actual bet on them. I wouldn't be surprised if South Florida wins this game, though. Down in the heat.
You guys are high. All right, top 100 in defense. All right, wonderful. Great, top 100 in the AAC. I'm really, really happy about the top 100 defense that you're bringing in against Boise. Also, 8 of the linemen have 7+ starts. The line's going to be fine.
If they might not even play in this
8
game.
of the 5, not just 5 of the 5. 8 of the 5 have 7+.
Yeah, just roll in with a backup Mountain West offensive line.
Oh, against South Florida, I think we'll be fine. Thank you.
I'm interested to see how Boise's defense does in the heat with how fast South Florida wants to play in Golesh's offense. So he's a Josh Heupel guy. We know how fast Tennessee likes to play with the veer and shoot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, man. That's South Heat, and there's a reason they moved that game up to 5 o'clock. That was a genius move by South Florida.
Let's go. Scoop being all condescending is making me want to bet it, to be honest.
Good. Do it.
Next up, Nebraska, Cincinnati. Tough one because I'm big on both these teams. Scoop, you want to bat lead off in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the home dog here. Until Nebraska shows me they're Nebraska again, I'm not giving 6.5 points on the road. I like Sorsby. I think he did well this year. The solid dual direct quarterback. I think they did a great job replacing Kiner at running back too. I know the receivers and the O-line may be a question mark, but they had a pretty good transfer class coming in, and they're going to control the time of possession like they did last year. They did lead the conference in possession last year. They could definitely chew up some clock. Nebraska's line already is a huge question mark. No one on this defensive line played more than 28% of their snaps last year because all 4 starting linemen are gone. And their linebackers, even though they have decent transfers in, they still lose 3 of their top 4 tacklers on the team last year. So I think Nebraska is actually going to struggle against the run pretty badly here. I know it's not like Cincy has the most explosive offense, but the biggest thing is I really like their defense too. I mean, you got the Godfather, Corleone, who's just a beast at nose tackle. I really love Parker on the line too. They have a solid secondary. I think it's not the easiest game for Raiola to start on the road against what's going to be a good defense. So I think this should be closer to like a 4-point spread possibly. I see a lot of places where Nebraska's going to put up 40. I don't see that at all. I mean, maybe they're seeing the collapse from last year from Cincy where they started off well and just really played poorly down the stretch. But I mean, I like Nebraska's offense a lot better this year, but both these teams got a lot better this year, and I think both are going to have a good season. So I'm going to definitely take 6.5 with Cincy.
There's a couple of things I need to push back on. One, you're calling the Cincinnati defense good.
Yeah. Are you going to compare let's just compare last year's stats where it don't matter anymore. Let's keep doing that.
The whole secondary's gone. All right.
Yeah, I like the secondary that came in.
Kyle loves him some Nebraska this year.
Look, some people don't appreciate Matt Rule and don't realize how good of a coach that is. But But yeah, there's a couple things. One, what you said about the Cincinnati defense, dude. Against that secondary that's brand new, I think Raiola is going to piece him up. And two,
you're too high on Raiola, by the way.
You're talking about, I think Nebraska's run defense is going to struggle this year. Yeah, against Michigan, against Minnesota, not against Cincinnati.
Yes, against Cincinnati.
I'm almost positive Mac's about to take Cincinnati too, because he said he likes a lot of dogs this week. So I think he's about to take Cincinnati. So go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, I'm on the Bearcats. It is worth noting this game is at Arrowhead. So it's at the Chiefs Stadium. So it will be more of a Nebraska crowd. But I think the love has gone a little bit too far with Nebraska. They seem to be the trendy sleeper pick by everyone because of Matt Rule year 3. The schedule's great. But Cincinnati, one thing I'm actually taking the worst of the two coaches, which I don't usually like doing. But under Satterfield, what they do is they usually lose close games. Statistically, everybody loves them. They usually outgain their opponents. A couple years ago under Satterfield, they outgained like 9 out of their 12 teams, and then they finished with a 4-8 record. Last year, they won a bunch of box scores and then still found themselves on the wrong end of it with a 1-point loss to Pitt, 3-point loss to Texas Tech. I think Sorsby's pretty good. I think Cincinnati's going to be able to move the ball up and down the field on Nebraska. Like I said, I don't know if Cincinnati's going to win the game outright. I could see a 3 or 4 point Nebraska win to Scoop's point. So you're giving me almost 7 points with Cincinnati in a game where I think it's going to be a toss-up field goal game. I'm going to take those points, and it's good to see Corleone back because remember he had the blood clot issue, so now he's fully healthy finally, and he's a difference maker at that nose tackle position for that defense.
Yeah, the Cincinnati defensive front is in very good shape.
Yeah.
I can't actually get there with Nebraska, but I can't take the 6.5 either. I think Nebraska's offense is going to be very good this year. And Scoop mentioned people are saying Nebraska is going to put up 40 points. I don't know about 40, but I'm more in line with people who are saying that they've got definitely a top 25 offensive line here. Raiola entering his second year, was a true freshman in the Big Ten last season. Now he's got one of the best, I'd say a top 25 offensive line. I think that offense is going to be really good. And Cincinnati, yeah, they bring back a lot of production in the defensive front. The secondary is a big question mark here. And in comparison to the defenses that Raiola saw for a lot of last season, I think he's going to be able to piece them up. The reason I can't lay the 6.5 is I also agree with what Mac was saying about Sorsby and the offense. For everything I'm reading about camp is telling me that this offense looks great. Sorsby had kind of a breakout year last year, and he brings back a lot of production. Well, not a lot of production. He brings back some production on the offensive side, but all the receivers are gone. The receivers from Cincinnati weren't great last year, and I think the receivers they have now, although I'm not going to pretend to know who they are, from what I'm reading, they really like their wide receiving core. And I think Cincinnati's offense is going to be explosive. We saw flashes of it last year, so I would go over. The problem is it's up to 53.5 now. It was down at 50.5 before, so like kind of feel like I missed the boat. But both of these teams were in top 45 in plays per game, so neither team is particularly like super slow paced. I think we're going to see just points scored. So I would go over, but 53.5, I don't think I can actually get there. Next up is App State Charlotte. Go ahead, Mac. I don't know what you're about to say on this game. Go ahead, dude. This
so
question mark. Like.
So you got 2 first-year head coaches. Tim Albans at Charlotte. They don't bring back a lot, so I'm going to be pretty point blank there with that. There's not a lot of returning production here. It seems like Loftus is going to get the nod over there. Connor Harrell from Carolina is going to get the nod. So I just think you're getting this significantly better coach, in my opinion. Tim Albin, I thought, did an unbelievable job at Ohio, winning the MAC last year. And then you look at App State. It's year one under Loggins, who comes over from South Carolina. I think it's kind of crazy that they're laying almost a touchdown now. I think that this line should be closer to south of a touchdown, and I think it's going to be a 3 or 4 point game. I like some of the transfers that they brought over with some Power 4 experience on the Charlotte team. So you're giving me a home dog here against a first-year head coach. I'm going to take it. So I will be on the points with the 49ers.
If it was just Loggins -7 against Albin, then I'd be with you. I do think App State is significantly more talented. There's no chance in hell I could lay 7. Scoop, what do you think?
Yeah, my first note is what is App State going to be, and then the next one is what is Charlotte going to be.
I dare you here.
Yeah, it's two teams of just really question marks all over the place. If you're betting on Charlotte, I feel like you're betting on Tim Albin, which obviously I love him. He did a great job at Ohio, and like Kyle said, do I feel like App State has a better roster overall? Sure. I mean, I like App State's quarterbacks better, whoever's playing out of those 3. I don't think they named anyone yet.
Oh, it's not Swan? I thought it was Swan.
They were like,
the rumors is Swan.
Yeah,
okay,
I think
so they didn't say anything yet, but yeah, overall, I think their defense will be okay too. But Loggins is an offensive coach. He comes in as a new coach, and he has a mostly new roster himself. So I think both teams are going to try to figure this out. I love Albin. I think he'll turn his program around. I'm not sure how quick he's going to do that. But it's like you guys said, App State had such a bad year last year. It's going to be hard to come back and win on the road right away, even though it's at Charlotte. So if I had to pick a side, I would lean Charlotte's way. I'd lean it over too. I don't see many stops in this game with brand new coaches. I think Charlotte's actually going to have a decent running game this game too. So I don't think I'm going to bet it. It's not for me. It's a lot of unknowns, but I'm going to watch it. Obviously, it should be a fun game.
I kind of would lean. I know I just said there's no way I could lay 7. I would lean towards App State -6.5. Look, I understand why everyone likes Tim Albin. I get it. I still am a little mad at Charlotte for not giving Poggi another year. I kind of like the bold declaration type, and when you play that card, when you play the we're going to the college football playoff or whatever the hell he said some wild shit, and then when you play that card, it's like you open yourself up to harsh criticism, and I don't know. I feel like he didn't really get much of a chance there. And they bring in Tim Albin, who I'm sure will be a great hire. It's just, I don't think they have a very talented team right now. And App State, I don't really think App State's particularly talented either, but they do bring back 5 or 6 starters on the defensive side. It's tough. Is Loggins going to run the ball at App State? I guess we're going to see them run the football. That's what he did a lot of at South Carolina, but maybe that was based on the roster he had. I really don't know what to expect from App State, but I do think they're significantly better than Charlotte. So I'll put App State up. I'm not betting this game though. App State -6.5 for me. All right, let's move on to the next one. Wyoming, Akron. I have a bet in this one. So I'll go ahead and go. Actually, you know what? Let's let the guests go first. Scoop, you want to go first on Akron, Wyoming?
Yeah, Akron's a hard team to bet on this year for a few reasons. One of the reasons is motivational factor. I think the team's academically ineligible to be in a bowl, so even if they get the 6 wins, they're locked out. I'm not a fan of Akron at all from the roster standpoint either. I think they're one of the worst teams in the country this year, which is a real shame because I am a big Zip head, as you know. Love watching him on Mac Tuesdays. But really, the fact that Svoda isn't Wyoming's quarterback anymore makes me want to take Wyoming here. Now he's the tight end, obviously. But I think Hayden Anderson's a way better quarterback. And even though I'm not actually sure who's running the ball initially, the offensive line is pretty much fully intact from last year. I personally don't see Ben Finley as a top Mac quarterback like everyone else does. It's personal opinion. I don't see it. I don't think he's going to have a good year. I know Wyoming's defense is probably going to have a worse year this year. I actually think their units flipped. I think their offense is better than their defense, which was the opposite from last year. But they have enough to contend with Akron. Defensive line has turnover, I know, from Wyoming, but their defensive line wasn't the good option for Wyoming anyway last year. But I think the turnover helps them. I think they have a lot of help in the secondary. Just with Wyoming's offense, it's going to be better. Akron's defense is definitely concerning. Their front 7 actually looks really bad. I think they're going to give up probably 200 yards rushing on the year per game. So it's one of the worst front 7s in the MAC. Then again, I did pick Wyoming week 1 last year and lost by 40. So, yeah, I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I like Wyoming here. I'm just really not a fan of this Akron team this year.
What number can you get? Can you get a 7? I'm seeing 7.5.
I saw 7 this morning. I haven't seen. No.
Well, that's not the bet I have. Mac, what are you on?
I am on the Zips. I am a big fan of Finley.
You're a big Zip head? You're a big Zip head?
Yeah, I'm a big Zip head, baby. So, so kind of a similar handicap to the Loggins one. Who is Jay Salvell to be laying more than a touchdown on the road? I mean, last year he takes over a proud program. Craig Bold did an unbelievable job year after year there. And I thought Salvell, they just were so uncompetitive out of the gates. I mean, Scoop already hit on it. That opener at Arizona State, I know that was a college football playoff team, but they lost by 50. Then they got killed by BYU. They lost to an FCS team. They did improve throughout the year, but I just have question marks at the coaching position. So I think Moorhead is the better coach here between the two. So I will be on the Akron Zips here as a home dog. And I think the motivation of not being eligible for a bowl game goes into effect more later in the year where they're kind of checking out. I think this one they're going to get up for national TV game to start the year. This kind of feels a little bit like Akron's Super Bowl. So I will fade Wyoming away from Laramie here. Give me the home dog.
I'm more in agreement with Mac, but I actually have neither. I'm on over 49.5 in this one. I'm more in agreement with Mac, though. I think Moorhead and Finley are going to have moments where they look very good this season. They certainly got better, kind of like the Wyoming offense did as well, but Akron's passing attack looks significantly better in the second half of the year. Moorhead brings back his quarterback, which is not always the case in that conference. I think Akron's offense is going to look pretty good. And look, you want to talk about the motivation factor? Maybe, but when I think of something like that, I don't necessarily think of, oh, they're just not trying to play football. I would more take that as they're not being conservative. They're going to take shots. They're going to blitz. They're going to go for interceptions, stuff like that. That's not even a factor in my over 49.5. I'm just saying that's where I would take something like that. If I was saying, oh, this team can't play in a bowl game, there's no motivation, I would think that they're going to play more free and would point towards an over. But again, I don't think that's a factor in week one anyway. On the Wyoming side, they did start running the football down the stretch. In the last 5 games, I didn't even know this. I had to go look. I was just reading an article. I was like, what do you mean they were running the ball at the end of the year? I had to go look. They were. In the last 5 games, they're averaging over 181 rushing yards per game, 4.6 yards per carry. They were running the football at the end. They were so bad in the beginning that no one was watching at that point. But Wyoming was running the football at the end. There's a big question mark next to the Akron defensive line. I don't even know who's playing on it. They're all gone. So Wyoming's going to be able to run the ball. Wyoming's defense lost everybody, the entire secondary, all the linebackers. Ben Finley's going to sling it. I think this could be super high scoring. So, yeah, I like this bet. I'm on over 49.5. It doesn't look like, I thought when I grabbed that this is going to be like 53. It doesn't look like it's moving. So maybe the market disagrees with me, but I like this one. I'm on over 49.5 here. Auburn, Baylor. What a game. I like both of these teams, man. Mac, big game here. Which team are you bigger on this season?
I'm actually bigger on Baylor. I love the way that they finished the year last year under Dave Aranda. That offense really goes. I mean, under Spavital, that was the big hire for him last year. Getting Spavital to come over from Cal. Me being a West Virginia guy, Spavital's offenses were great under Dana Holgerson. So he's one of those air raid guys. And I thought Sawyer Robertson had an awesome year. Now it's year 2 in this system, coming off 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. I think that they're going to be able to move the ball at will against Auburn. And also, I need to see it from Jackson Arnold. I think Auburn has every piece. Their 3 receivers are going to be pros. They got a good offensive line, but I just need to see it from Jackson Arnold, and I'm not going to lay points with him on the road. I think Baylor's going to clip them down there in Waco, and I think that place is going to be on absolute fire with an SEC team coming to town in Waco. So this is going to be an entertaining game. I will take Baylor, plus 2.5, and I think they're going to win the game outright.
Scoop?
Yeah, I agree. This is an awesome game. With this one, I feel like it's a statement game for both. Auburn's just been really bad for a while now, but this year, their talent's absolutely stacked. It's definitely the best team they've had last 5 years. And I mean, Baylor on the other side, you can say the same thing about Creighton. You can say the same thing about Baylor. I mean, Dave Aranda really has no excuses this year. It should be one of the best Big 12 offenses this year. Sawyer Robertson, with a full year under his belt, takes over full time with only 1 starting lineman off to this line. It does suck you lose Pendergrass for the season, but Bryson Washington's back and Knighton looks awesome in practices. So, as much as I hype up Auburn this year, like Mac, I still don't trust Jackson Arnold really. I don't trust him to throw the ball down the field. I'm not sure if that was, obviously, like we said, if that was Oklahoma's offensive line beat up or their wide receivers beat up, and they didn't trust him to air it out. But I haven't seen it yet. And really, as great as Auburn's defense should be, they did lose a lot of pieces. You lose your top 4 starting linebackers, only Falk's back on the D-line. very young secondary still. I do think the secondary is going to be good. It's just the first game going away to Baylor against what should be a top offense. Shouldn't be that fun. If Washington gets going against a questionable front seven, Auburn's going to be on its heels a lot. It's a loaded O-line against a completely new defensive line. And, I mean, Auburn's not projected to compete for an SEC title or anything this year. Better, yeah, but the fact is they still had 4 straight losing seasons going into this, and they haven't showed it yet. So Baylor has to win. This is their year. They're projected to be a top 2 Big 12 team. So as a home dog, yeah, I love the spot for them.
Both of you guys took Baylor. Not one of you mentioned the Baylor defense, which is a little concerning. A lot of talk about Aranda, a lot of talk about the Baylor offense, and we could all sit here and hold hands and talk about how awesome it was in the second half of the year, but the defense kind of did the opposite. It kind of got worse. They were letting up a lot of points. Sure, they were scoring more. I'm concerned about the Baylor defense. I also didn't really appreciate the Jackson Arnold slander. He wasn't really put in the best position earlier in the season. Late in the year, when he got his starting job back, started using his legs, I was liking it. I was like, oh, shit, like this dude is looking like a Josh Allen type. Like he was running, it was working. And behind that Auburn offensive line against a Baylor defense that I don't think is particularly good, here's the thing. Entering the season, I'm big on both of these offenses. Baylor's offense should be electric this year, and Auburn's got a very, very good offensive line. So I think I like both these offenses, but in this particular game, I kind of would lean towards the Auburn or the underside because I think they're just going to play keep away. That big offensive line is too much for Baylor's defensive front to handle. I think they're going to be the Auburn offense is going to be in the field for 7-8 minutes at a time and keep Baylor's offense on the sideline. I could see Baylor starting 0-2 and then winning out and winning the Big 12 because after this they go to SMU. Very tough start to the season, but I honestly think they're going to run the table in the Big 12. I love this Baylor team. If you watch our offseason video, I was gassing them up. I'm big on them. I don't like this matchup. That offensive line of Auburn is serious. So for me, it'll be Auburn or under. This is a super high total, and based on the way I think Auburn plays this game, I think it's too high.
I actually do think the under is going to hit, just because I think both offensive lines are so good. They're just going to run the ball a lot this game compared to what Robertson's going to do the rest of the season. So I do agree that I think both O lines are stacked. I think both teams are going to run the ball well.
All right, disagreement on that one. Virginia Tech, South Carolina. I think I know what Mac's about to say, and I'm in. I'll bet it right now. I didn't get to this game. This game is on Sunday, right?
Sunday afternoon, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still about midway through Saturday right now. But are you about to take the points? Because I'm with you if you're doing it. Let's do it.
Gobble, gobble. Give me the Hokies here. It's a fate of South Carolina basically losing everything on the defensive side, losing all those NFL guys. And I just think laying north of a touchdown is too much. I love Sellers. I think he's terrific. But I just think they also, it's a new offense for Sellers with Loggins, who we talked about earlier, going over to App State. So you don't have continuity with quarterback and OC as well. Virginia Tech, the year after the year here, I think everybody was high on them last year with all that returning production. They kind of fell on their face, went 6-6. But I like Drones. I think Drones is going to have a bounce back year here. And I just think that this is a big pressure game for Shane Beamer as well. If you know his family history, his old man, legendary coach at Virginia Tech. So I think a little bit of house money game for Virginia Tech here. I think we get a classic down there in Atlanta. This game is at the, what is it called now? Mercedes-Benz Atlanta Falcons Stadium. So, yeah, give me the points and the Hokies, and maybe they shock the world on Sunday and win outright.
I agree with every single word you just said. Too much hype on Sellers, not enough talk about the South Carolina defense, which was the strength of the team, by the way, completely gone. I agree with what you said about Jones. I actually didn't know that about Shane Beamer. That's cool. So he was a Virginia Tech coach back in the day.
He played there, and he worked there. That's where he got his start. He grew up there because his dad was a coach for the 90s and 2000s.
Oh, cool. So, yeah, I agree with everything. I agree with Drones. Scoop does not, though. Scoop has been very vocal about how he thinks Drones is not a good quarterback. He said it several times. So, Scoop, are you going to lay this big number then if you don't like Drones?
So, yeah, in the preview, I talked a lot of trash about Virginia Tech. So did you, though. So I wouldn't talk that much.
But I equally talk trash about the South Carolina defense.
So I apologize. I am not a Drones guy. I am a Coxman, as you know. But I'm going with Virginia Tech here. I think the spread's too much. Lenora Sellers started off rough, but definitely obviously had an extremely solid second half of the year. A few one-score wins, but can't fault them for that. The issues on offense is how they're going to replace Sanders, their running back. But most importantly, like Max said, their front seven is so thin on their defense. Stort's the only returning player on the front seven on the edge, who's good. I'm not saying he's not. He's awesome, but they lost 3 of their top 4 tacklers, their linebackers. I've barely played any FBS games. Their secondary is good, but I don't see Virginia Tech not running the ball over 50% of the time here. And even though Virginia Tech lost Tootin, their future Jacksonville Jaguar Hall of Famer, they do have a deep running back room. Terrion Stort and Braden Bennett are 2 solid running backs who can who can definitely take over for Tootin. They got young sophomores and freshmen in that. They have a loaded backfield, that running game. So even though their O-line isn't great, it's more experienced than South Carolina's D-line. And Virginia Tech should just manage the clock all game, run the ball a bunch. And when Drones played last year, I know I talk shit about him, but all of his games, their biggest loss was 10 or fewer when he played in all the games. Three of them are one-possession games. So, and plus, Drones, when he's banged up literally all year, he played with turf toe, an MCL strain, a stress fracture. So he's fully healthy going into this opener. I feel like 8's too much. You can still grab an 8 right now. And yeah, I like Virginia Tech here. I actually just bet this game, so go Virginia, go Hokies.
Yeah, you can put Virginia. I'm putting Virginia Tech up also. But like Scoop said, I'm not huge on Virginia Tech, but I like the phrase Mac used, the year after the year. Because last year, everybody was gassing up Virginia Tech. They went 6-6, and now I feel like the stock has fallen too far. So, yeah, I think it fell for a reason. But, yeah, I +8 against South Carolina, who is the ultimate, I think the phrase I used when we were talking about in the offseason is South Carolina checks all the boxes to generate hype. A young superstar quarterback, check. Playing their best football in the second half of the year, check. They check the boxes, so they have all the hype, but people are ignoring, like Max said, the fact that this is a defensive team, and pretty much their entire defense is in the NFL right now. It's all gone. So, yeah, I'll take the points with you. Let's do it. Virginia Tech. And now we go to the last game, which is a big one, also on Monday Night Football here. And I strongly disagree. I think you're crazy for this one. I heard you talk about this game already. I already know what you're on. So go ahead. Tell us.
I didn't actually.
So he's on the Canes. Do you saw that, Scoop?
I did not, but I don't have. This is the hardest game for me. I don't have a bet yet, but I would lean towards the Canes as well.
All right, go ahead. This is
you're going to trust CJ Carr? You're going to trust him on the road?
I'm going to trust the All-American running back against a defensive front. Well, who on Miami's defense is going to stop Jeremiah? All right, go ahead.
Well, so it's a completely new defense for Miami. They bring in basically all these. They invested heavily in the portal. So it's to Scoop's point. I'm not taking CJ Carr as a freshman. In his first true road start to get it done at Miami. I know people don't like Carson Beck. A lot of the reasons because of his personal life, but I still think he's an efficient quarterback for the most part. I know he's coming off a injury to end the year, but Miami reloaded in the portal as well, going out and spending a lot of money on this new receiving core. I think their offensive line is going to be able to move Notre Dame a little bit. And one thing about Marcus Freeman, he drops one or two games every year in September. So I think Miami here, nobody's giving them a shot. Everybody's penciling Notre Dame for a big win here. Notre Dame also banged up on the offensive line with the motorcycle accident. So yeah, give me the U at home. Yes, another dog for me. Let's go.
Notre Dame was banged up on the offensive line last year as well. And you want to talk about your concerns with CJ Carr. Nobody could have been worse throwing the football than Riley Leonard was early last year. He was freaking terrible. Like 6 weeks into the season, Notre Dame was 120th in passing efficiency. He ended up getting his shit together later in the year. even with the banged up offensive line, Notre Dame's going to hand the ball off. I don't think there's a damn thing Miami could do to stop it. I think this Miami team was not nearly as good as their record indicated last year. They were the kings of generating highlights. The highlights were freaking awesome. Must watch. If you didn't watch the Miami game, the highlights were must watch. Like electric. Restrepo was the man. Cam Ward, obviously. The highlights were a lot better than the football team was, in my opinion. Look, Carson Beck is clearly talented. I wouldn't even be surprised if Carson Beck isn't the hugest drop-off from Cam Ward. Wouldn't be surprised at all. I have concerns because Carson Beck in 2023 was the man. Carson Beck in 2024 was delivering terrible passes from clean pockets. And I mean missing targets, hitting defenders in the chest. I have concerns about Carson Beck. I'm not sure what happened to this man, but I don't trust. It got to the point where last season I would bet on Georgia and he would drop back and deliver the ball from a clean pocket. I was scared shitless. I don't know what happened to his accuracy or his decision making. I don't even know what it is, but I don't trust him. Yeah, I think Notre Dame's a significantly better football team, and I think this should be 3.5. I think they're much better than Miami. Go ahead, Scoop.
Yeah, I don't see the really down year for Miami talk. I don't really think it's a down year. I mean, the offensive numbers aren't going to be the same, obviously, with Cam Ward, Restrepo, Horton, but the running game's going to be fine. Someone's going to step up at wideout. I mean, I do like their defense. I think their D-line's really solid. Linebackers are good, even without Moagawa, who got drafted. So, I mean, all you have to do is shut down Jeremiah Love and Price, and then you're going to win the game. Obviously, that's all you need to do. Easy. No, I mean, listen, if CJ Carr does produce, that's not going to happen. I could see Notre Dame winning this game, but I'm going to take Miami against a new quarterback. Notre Dame's defense did take a little bit of a step back in their secondary and D-line, but obviously, listen, it's Notre Dame. I mean, they're going to be fine.
They're fine.
So, yeah, I mean, opening day, time to work those kinks out for Miami. I think Notre Dame's going to struggle a little bit on the road. So, yeah, I mean, 2.5 for Miami. I'm going to take that bet.
If it's under 3, you have to go to Notre Dame here. I feel like everyone's blinded by the record and the stats and ignoring the fact that Miami could have been 6-6 last year. I mean, there's so many games where it's like Miami could have lost that. I don't know.
I think Carson Beck's fine too. He's going to have a better year this year.
Cam Ward did bail him out of a ton of games, but to Scoop's point, I think the reason that they would get in those holes was because their secondary was unbearable to watch last year. I think they with the changes on the defensive staff, I think that's going to be more tightened up. And I know this doesn't really matter, but historically Notre Dame, this has been a house of horrors for them down there at the U. I think they've lost like 6 or 7 in a row there.
I didn't know that, but not worried. Hand the ball off. You'll win this one, Notre Dame. All right, everyone, talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's have a good week 1. Later. Sorry, I had my mic muted. Thanks, everyone, for watching. See you all tomorrow. Yeah, hit me up if you need me. I'll be up for a while finishing up the week 1 stuff. I'll be posting stuff.